welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 2 of a little series, pun intended, that I like to call Not So Short Stories. Funny. So today we are going to be talking about how I balance university and being a professional level swimmer. So we are going to talk about the student athlete life. What is it actually like being a student athlete? For me personally, I love it. I think it's super exciting because on the one hand, I get to study something that I really enjoy, and then on the other hand, I get to do a sport, which is swimming, that I absolutely love. And I get to do both of them at the same time, which for me, because I can't focus on one thing at a time, I need to be doing a lot of things. So when God was definitely forming me and deciding what I was going to be doing, He was like, she's going to be a student athlete because she can't focus on a single thing. So He's given me two things at once, so praise Jesus for that. I'm definitely no expert on how to balance school and training and school and competition, but I've been an athlete and a student for quite some time, and so I am going to be talking about some of the things that I've learned while I've been trying to balance the two, and then also things that I'm working on, and then hopefully you guys can pick up a couple tips. Or if you're not an athlete, you don't care about sports, you don't care about school, then well, I'm sorry, this video might be kind of boring for you. So one of the main things that I've learned while being an athlete and trying to go to school is that wonderful topic that everyone likes to talk about, which is time management. When you're an athlete, and oftentimes you go away to competitions, you have training, you have to miss a lot of school. And when I was in high school, I missed about 3 to 4 months of school a year, which that's quite a lot of school. And I found something that really helped was being proactive with talking to my teachers early on. Teachers really want you to succeed and they want you to be good, but also they don't have an obligation to come and help you when you're going to be missing their class. And so if you're proactive about it and you go to them early and you're like, hey, so I'm going to be missing school for this, I'm going to be missing about a week, but is there anything that I could do beforehand before I leave? Is there any exams that I'm going to be missing that maybe I could write early? Do you have any notes for me? If you're open and you're showing them that you genuinely want to succeed at school as well, and that you're trying to be respectful of their time and the effort that they're putting in, often you're going to find that they're very willing to help. And don't just assume that they're going to help you with everything, because they've got hundreds of students that they need to teach and they need to do their job and stuff. So definitely being proactive was something that I learned early on that really helps. So another thing that I learned was to take out the unnecessary weekly activities. And I'm not trying to be a party pooper and be like, you can't have a social life, you can't have a social life, and you can't go out and do that, and you can't go out on weekends. No, I'm not saying that, but what it really comes down to a lot of the times is that you're busy and school's really busy and training's really busy. So if you could kind of look at your week and say like, oh, is this like a necessary activity that I need to do this week? Or is there something that I can take out that's going to benefit my studying and benefit my training? And I found for me, and I'm definitely still working on this, and it's quite a hard thing to do, but trying to take out different weekly activities so I have time to pour more of my effort into swimming and into school. Understand that there is some sort of element of a sacrifice that you're going to have to make if you want to do school and do your sport at the same time. I've missed family vacations because I've had to focus on training. I've missed family weddings that just because I'm not even in the country. I've missed funerals, I've missed friends' birthday parties, I've missed opportunities to go to events, to concerts, to hang out with my friends, to be a teenager, because I made the decision to pursue swimming and to try to do school at the same time. Or whatever sport you do is only here for so long. So it's not such a bad thing to sacrifice now, and then you can go off and do life when you're finished. Like, the truth is, balancing school and balancing a sport, you don't really have much free time. And I'm going to be super honest, I'm not good at having free time, because then I start saying things like, oh, I have so much time, I can do that homework later. Oh, I don't need to study because, yeah, I gotta practice off tomorrow. Or even another one is, oh, I can stay up extra late because I don't train tomorrow. Guys, that's the devil talking to you. Don't believe those lies. Don't don't listen to that, because that's just going to dig you into a hole and it's going to get you into more trouble. So a trick that I have found to try to eliminate those things and to use my free time wisely is to stick the word intentional in front of it. So have intentional free time, because anything intentional kind of means that there's a purpose behind it. And in my competitive brain, that just clicks. So that helps me, might help you, I don't know. Moving on. Another super important thing that I've learned while being a student athlete is you gotta take care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, then your school is gonna suffer, and if you're not feeling well, your swimming's not gonna feel well either, or your sport, whatever sport you're doing, is not gonna feel well. And that's something that I've noticed, that if I don't take care of my body isn't gonna perform, and my body isn't gonna stay awake in class to be able to learn what I need to learn. I talk about this all the time, but guys, take a nap. Sleep as long as you can, because if you can't stay awake in class, you can't learn your material. And that's something I was not good at early on, because I was always like, go, 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 go. And now that I'm getting a little bit older, I've realized the importance of naps. Hashtag Danielle loves naps. It's gonna be a thing. It should be a thing for you too, because naps are literally wonderful and they help everything. Now the last thing that I'm going to mention is not to let your school or your sport or what you do become your identity. I'm going to actually do a more in-depth video in the next couple weeks about this, and I'm going to tell my story about when swimming became my identity and how that didn't go so well for me. So stay tuned for that. But coming back to that, I've learned the importance of not placing your identity in something that you do, because if my identity is in swimming and I'm not swimming well, what happens when I don't make a team? What happens when I don't win a race? And if your identity is in there, what happens to you, and how do you feel about that? When we place our identity in things and those things happen to not be going well, we happen to not be doing well. So something I learned in church a couple weeks ago was the concept of happiness. How happiness is something that happens to us, and it can create a happiness, but it's all circumstantial, because sometimes when things happen, they don't make you feel good. And if I am to place all of my self-worth into something that has the possibility to change day to day, I'm left feeling pretty unstable. Am I gonna have a deep sense of a rooted identity if I place it in something that happens to change, that happens to be good one day but doesn't happen to be good the next? So that's just something to think about. Being a student athlete is definitely not easy. Basically, you just gotta be proactive. You gotta sacrifice a little bit of stuff. You gotta take out some unnecessary things in your week. You gotta be healthy. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta nap. And then don't focus on putting your identity in your sport, because sometimes what happens is that it does not bring you happiness. So if I'm able to do all of those things, then I am a little bit more capable of balancing both my education and my sport, which happens to be swimming. You're already one step further along than I was when I started, and I'm still in a process. Like I said before, it's hard for me to focus and just do one thing, and I can't imagine my life without school and swimming at the same time. And so sometimes we just gotta work with what we've got. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Not So Short Stories, and these tips help you out. It is possible to do both, but there is a little bit of an element of sacrifice. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge worth doing. That brings us to the end of the vlog today. I pray this week that you go out and you be the lights that you are. We all got a light to shine, and we get the wonderful opportunity to shine them together, and I think that's pretty cool. I hope you think that's cool too. And I will see you next time on another episode of Not So Short Stories, and have a wonderful week. Great. Bye.